in 68. And then that's when everything fell apart. Bobby ran and was running away with the nomination.
Yeah.
And then he got shot in California.
Yeah.
Replaced by McGovern, who nobody liked. And Nixon ran against McGovern.
How close to the election did Bobby get shot?
It's a good question. It was a California primary. He was there for he'd been winning everything.
Yeah. Oh, so it was in the primaries.
It was in the primaries.
Yeah.
And
what was the name of the guy who shot him? It was like something
Sirhan. Yes. And there's a picture, a famous picture of him laying there. And there was, so if you look at the picture, there's a guy holding him. You see that guy holding his head?
Yeah.
He's a busboy, a just Mexican busboy working in a hotel. And it was in the kitchen. Like he had just made a speech. And he was coming through. Just to back up for a second with Bobby, because Bobby was an incredible guy. Bobby had a fluid mind of a crackling brain. Like he was like, John was, moved slow and made careful moves. And Bobby was passionate, When my mother, when I first got an iPhone, first time I'd ever held that thing, I took it to my mother's house, and my mother was a computer programmer, but this item was like, she's like, it's a phone. And I go, name any image or moment, recorded moment.
That's what she went with?
What's that?
And that's the one she went with?
Just no, let me finish. I said, name any recorded moment in history.
Yeah.
And she said, when Martin Luther King was killed, Bobby Kennedy was about to have a rally, give a speech at a rally of all black people. It was a black audience, like in some city. And he got the news. And he had to tell the audience that MLK had been assassinated. And he, off the cuff, said some things about it and gave a speech, which was just very moving. And I just went, fucking RFK, MLK.
Yeah.
And played it for her. And she was like, wow. What is happening? Yeah.
That's awesome. I thought, I was close with my guess. I thought your mom was going to be like, if I could see anything in the world right now,
it would be him getting
show me
killed.
Him dead on the ground.
He's show me that motherfucker
I'd like to see it.
With blood on his face. So he was shot coming out of they were taking him through the kitchen. Sirhan shoots him. And this busboy is the one who catches him. It just was in a melee of people. So a guy who had nothing to do with anything, senor. So he's got Kennedy's head in his lap, and he looks down at him. And he never spoke about it. Like he wouldn't. Press used to ask him. He just refused to talk about it because he felt the moment was very personal. But he finally, I think I might be dead, but I saw an interview with him where he said what happened. Which is that Bobby said, he just asked him, do you have a rosary? He knew he would because he's fucking Mexican. He said, do you have a rosary? And he did. And they gave him a rosary, and he basically took his last rites.
Holy shit.
He gave Bobby a shot at a Catholic little death.
Damn.
Sirhan went to prison. I think he's still alive. I think he's still in prison. So he shows up in a great book by the guy who invented profiling in the FBI, the guy who invented criminal profile.
Okay.
Richard Kessler, something like that. This guy wrote this book. He was the first guy in the FBI to come up with the idea of figuring out why killers do what they do. They didn't used to do that.
The guy for the Mindhunter show?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. He invented this thing.
Yes.
So, and the book is great because the book starts with a guy who murdered a serial killer who killed somebody in in Sacramento somewhere in some neighborhood, killed a lady, went in her house, killed a lady, and then killed another lady the next day. And so they flew this guy in who had become famous for this. He took one look at the murder scene. He said, you're looking for a white man in his 40s who has a big beard. He's living in his car that's filled with newspapers and trash from McDonald's. And if you don't catch him, he's going to do this every day. And they went and found the guy exactly on that. So then when that guy was caught, he did the next part of his job, which was he interviewed him to find out, because these guys love talking. And he asked him all the questions so they understand these guys better. And he asked the guy, how did you pick your victims? That's a key thing that in finding out how they're going to pick the next one. And he said, I would just go to any house, and if the door was unlocked, I'd kill anybody in there. So it wasn't like she looked like my mom.
Yeah.
And so he said, I'm putting this in the first chapter to just tell you, you're going to just lock your doors. Please lock your door. Yeah. Okay, so that guy.
It's funny to just ruin the profiling thing.
Yes.
He's like, oh, no, I don't.
No, if the door's unlocked.
What are you talking about?
If you're dumb, I'll kill you. But anyway, all that, I know I'm getting away from presidents. No, the point is, that guy, once he learned this thing of like talking to the guys, he realized we have all the most notorious killers in federal prisons. I want to go talk to them. And he couldn't get permission because everyone in the FBI said that's macabre and it's inappropriate. Yeah. So then he realized, why am I asking it? Just go to a federal prison, show him he's like a gold FBI badge.
Yeah.
So the first guy he talked to was Sirhan.
Wow.
He shows up and he just says, I want to see him. And Sirhan comes.
Was he like, the kitchen was unlocked?
He said
the kitchen was unlocked. I didn't even know who the fuck that guy was.
So he didn't ask, I don't know if he asked him that question, but he talked to Sirhan for a couple hours and it was a dead end. He just he rambled and he talked about his conspiracy, what he thought was, why he did it. He has a weird story that he thinks why he did it. And he didn't learn anything. And he thought maybe this isn't a good idea. He was about to give up on the science of this. And then right before Sirhan left, he stopped and he took off his shirt because he works out in prison. And he goes, hey, what do you think of Sirhan now? And he showed his muscles and he went like, oh, he's fucking vain. He's vain. He wants people to look at him. And that unlocked, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
So like that Hannibal Lecter thing, what does he do? He kills women. No, that's incidental. Yeah. What is the point of the guy? So anyway, that's Sirhan. Kill Robert Kennedy.
Sirhan's got to be dead, right?
When was it? That was 60. He still goes out for parole every few years. And
they got to let him out. Oh, he's got a couple years, dude.
Yeah.
The best is the guy who shot. Oh, well, I guess we'll get to him.
Well, Mike Sweeney, comedian, did the best joke ever. He wrote for Conan for years, but he was a great stand-up. And I'm saying his name, so I think I can steal his joke. Mike Sweeney. He used to do a joke about Sirhan at his first parole hearing. He said, I think if Robert Kennedy was alive today, he would say that I should be let go. And he goes, boy, just of all the bad luck. It's the one guy who would have stuck up for him. Turns out it's the guy he shot. Anyway, Sirhan kills Robert Kennedy, and Democrats go to the fucking convention in Chicago. Richard Daley and the fucking yippies show. And then we had another time like this. Far way out left yippies making a noise and wanting it to be a riot at the Democratic National Convention, not the Republican. They were like Nixon. There's another time like that it was like, yeah, we all know Nixon's a dick, but let's fuck with the Democrats. Let's go after the liberal side of things. And there was gas,
there's horses running over people.
Insane. So it was like the Democrats came across as this fucking chaotic bunch.
Yep.
They end up with McGovern and nobody gives a fuck. It's just this bad sort of like fucking the Democrats represent chaos and drugs and all this stuff. And there wasn't a thing of like, let's get together behind McGovern to beat Nixon. That just was not going to happen. So Nixon fucking finally, after all those years of his long life in politics, having been vice president for fucking Eisenhower, having been a senator and during the McCarthy hearings, all this stuff, he ends up being president of the United States in 1960. And he gets the people, he does the moral majority, the people or what do you call them? The silent majority. The silent majority.
Still
and all the guys in hard hats who hated hippies. And he counted on that. And he won.
Yeah, it's coming again. We're doing the same thing.
Same thing.
Exact same thing.
Same thing. So then you get to Nixon through 4 years and he gets to 72. Now
I have a question. Was the press gay back then like they are now? Were they like totally like...
Well, it was a different bunch of guys like Dan Rather and fucking, I mean, I'm forgetting all these guys' names.
It was never this partisan though, right?
No, because there was the CBS News, which was Walter Cronkite, and there was NBC and ABC. That was the news was you chose between three dudes. And there was David Brinkley, and they had Meet the Press. They had some stuff they even still have now.
Yeah.
But it was the press was centralized. There wasn't this sort of like, the written press was pretty out there. But the TV news was what everybody was really following. And so everyone watched the same news, and then we argued. So it was different. And you never had a sense that the press, to answer your question, no, they really weren't gay. Shane, I don't agree with using gay that way. He's even making me sound gay because I'm so upset with him. My God. So, well, like Cronkite. Cronkite was a picture.
It's funny to actually be gay when you're being gay.
It's the best.
Like to be mad about something. Get a coaster for that.
Stop it. Stop it. Especially this angry gay. Stop it. Shane.
What's more terrifying?
No, that would be if you had two gay dads. There would have been one who's like, Shane, just don't make him mad. Shane, what the fuck are you saying to him? Shane.
It could be the most terrible. That's the most scary, getting yelled at.
By your gay dad.
I
knew a gay. I knew a number of gay dads and two moms when I was raising my kids. A lot of their friends had gay dads, and I saw it's the same as any other stereotype. There are many kinds of heterosexual parents. There are soft-hearted, useless heterosexual parents. There are distracted, narcissistic, I think I can change my kid's life parents that are heterosexuals. And there's just fucking like, got it, gets it, doing the tough work heterosexual parents. And it's the same in my experience with gay moms and gay dads. I've known gay dads who are just like hard tack fucking, I'm not fucking this up.
Yeah.
But also I know it's his life. That like I've known so many kinds, but they all sound like this. But anyway, not really.
Kick the ball.
Not
Kick
really,
it, Tyler. Go.
It's more fun.
The fucking T-ball.
Well, that's
game.
what a straight dad sound like.
Yeah.
But so
gay dads are great.
Gay dads are great. Every single one of them.
Yeah.
Walter Cronkite has two great moments that show you what the press was back then. There's the moon landing, and there's Kennedy getting killed. He's in, again, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see both of these. So the moon landing is just they show the fucking footage of Neil touching down, which didn't happen. They didn't never land on the moon. And then they cut to Cronkite.
It was what's his name? It was your boy. Yeah, it was Kubrick, dude. He did the moon landing.
Kubrick did the moon. Yeah. That's why they gave him all the lenses. Yeah, he used the lenses for Barry Lyndon. It's true. Barry Lyndon is a great movie by Stanley Kubrick, and it takes place in like the 1600s, and he wanted it to look like that, so he used no electric lights, but he needed lenses that drink a huge amount of light, and he got NASA to give him moon lenses.
So he did do the moon landing.
Yes, nobody's ever been on the moon. Nobody's ever been on the moon. 100%.
You see there's some clues in The Shining.
Huh?
There's clues that
about
he
the
did
moon.
It. Yeah,
I don't believe this. I think they went to the moon.
But we'll see.
But
no, I think somebody was trying to argue that in like some Chinese astronomy, they found they satellite images of where people landed.
Yes,
and they're like, why would we help cover this?
By the way, they went up like 20 times. It's not even that big a deal. But so Cronkite, when they landed on the moon, you just cut to him and he's got this big childish grin on his face. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't say, this is a marvelous moment. He just reports, and Neil has landed. A man has landed on the moon. He says the facts, but he's got you can see the feeling, but he doesn't say it. And then the other moment that is just devastating is when Kennedy dies. He says, he gets the report, he gets it in his hand, and he says, President Kennedy has died. He died at 12 o'clock, and he takes off his glasses to look at the clock above him because he's reading, to look at the clock above him, and says, and that's 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. He just reports that Kennedy has died and reports the time, and he looks at his local clock, and then he puts his glasses back on, and he goes,
sports.
And he just swallows. Vice President Lyndon Johnson is to be sworn into. And there's this moment between where he's taking in that the president of the United States is dead, which without even thinking about who it was just horrible. Yeah. And then that and then that he probably knew him, So, but that was he didn't grandstand. You watch the news now and they're just like, and they're just feeling shit.
Yeah.
And it's horrible. They are not supposed to, when I worked for Letterman, the Yankees were in the World Series. And I got caught up in it, and because I'm a New Yorker, I'm a Boston guy, but I just got caught up in it.
It was fun.
So we took Larry Bud Melman, this character that Letterman had, to the game and interviewed the players. And then I got to be in the press box during the game. And me and a friend of mine who was a writer were sitting there watching the game, and we're cheering when the Yankees hit. And then we look, and everyone's staring at us like, what the fuck are you doing? You don't cheer in the press box. Like, it was like, we're all fans of something, but shut the fuck up. I think that shit's gone. I think that's all really
certainly
gone. But anyway, so Nixon serves.
Also, one more thing about Kennedy, dude. Why go to the moon? It's probably my favorite speech.
We do things.
Why? Yeah. We choose to go to the moon, not because it is easy, but because it is hard.
Because it's hard, yes. Dude. And he also, in one of his speeches about them, he had a great joke.
He also, in there, he goes, why does Rice play Texas? That gets me every time. I'm just like, dude, why are they playing? They get fucking killed every year.
That's right.
And they're still doing it.
Yes. Kennedy also had a great parable he used to tell. There's a lot of speeches that are lost because a lot of these guys, they didn't record every speech. But one of his, he liked telling jokes about Irish guys. So did Reagan. They had that in common. They both used patty jokes.
Yeah.
So he tells a story during his moon mission, when trying to get the money and the country behind the moon. And he talks about these 3 Irish guys walking along the leas of whatever, just crossing the great green grasses of Ireland. And then they get to a stone wall. And they go, should we climb the wall? Or should we go turn back and go home? And one of them takes his friend's hat off his head and throws it over the wall and says, I guess we're going. So that was part of Kennedy's thing. It's not that good.
No,
but anyway,
that's cool.